And this 20-year-old was raped and murdered by an MS-13 gang member who should have never been in the United States.
Marjorie Taylor Greene erupted during the House Homeland Security hearing.
Let's talk about Border Patrol apprehensions between ports of entry at the southwest border of terrorists.
Now, Republican Greene is going to have her own verbal garbage and hypocrisy thrown back in her face.
Terrorists.
And I have to say, it is pretty rich hearing the gentleman from Georgia express her concern about terrorism when she literally was selling defund the FBI t-shirts and hats on her website for $30 a piece.
That is Democrat Seth Magaziner of Rhode Island.
$30 for the shirts and another $30 for the hats. You don't get both for just the $30. The leading law enforcement agency tasked with combating terrorism in this country and keeping people safe, and she wants to defund it. So I am not going to take any lectures from her on securing this homeland from terror.
The effort by Greene to lecture Democrats and some Republicans about the border came before a vote to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Democrat Rob Menendez called the Republican approach on border security a pathetic stunt.
And this impeachment's part of that. We have held zero, I repeat, zero full committee hearings dedicated to emergency preparedness, cyber threats, infrastructure protection, transportation security, Department of Homeland Security management, or information sharing and intelligence efforts. With the global dynamic that we have not lived up to our oversight obligation here on this committee because you all are obsessed with the border. Because you bend the knee to the orange Jesus, as you refer to him across the aisle. That's what this is about. And we have failed our jurisdiction on this committee. So I'm tired of being lectured. You know, I try to listen here. I try to be a team player. I really do. I try not to engage in the partisanship, but I've had it. I've listened to a lot of accusations here today. We are here on a sham impeachment hearing because of the partisanship of this committee, and enough is enough. Ms. Greene asked the American people are listening. They are, and they're tired of the partisanship of this Republican majority that has failed to get things done. I yield back to the chair.
Marjorie Taylor Greene has been skewered and humiliated to her face before, even on the Mayorkas impeachment, and even by a Republican. More on that in a moment. First, on Congressman Menendez's diatribe about the GOP failing to get things done, that's been articulated repeatedly the past several months by some Republicans, including Greene herself.
I feel like many of the American people that think that Republicans in Congress completely fail them. I feel the same way, and I'm a Republican member of Congress.
Just months ago, Republican Chip Roy of Texas made the same point.
One thing. I want my Republican colleagues to give me one thing, that I can go campaign on and say we did. One. Anybody sitting in the complex, if you want to come down to the floor and come explain to me one material, meaningful, significant thing the Republican majority has done besides, well, I guess it's not as bad as the Democrats.
As Axios reports, Capitol Hill's stunner, 2023 led to fewest laws in decades. Quote, the 118th Congress is on track to be one of the most unproductive in modern history. The big picture, just 20 bills have been passed by both chambers and signed into law. The vast majority were uncontroversial bills that passed either by unanimous consent or with minimal opposition, including multiple measures to rename Veterans Affairs clinics. What the U.S. House has not done is consider a comprehensive immigration reform bill. The Senate just produced a bipartisan measure, but the Republican Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, calls it dead on arrival. In fact, one of the only immigration-related items to make it out of a House committee is the Mayorkas impeachment. And even on that, Marjorie Taylor Greene has repeatedly been mocked and ridiculed. A few weeks ago, Greene spoke about her Mayorkas impeachment effort on the House floor and got slammed by a fellow House Republican.
Ms. Greene is tainting this serious impeachment inquiry with a shoot-from-the-hip stunt that is reckless, partisan, and manifestly unserious.
Reckless, partisan, and unserious. It was a brutal floor speech to Greene's face, who moments earlier introduced articles of impeachment against Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas over the influx of undocumented immigrants.
The ongoing invasion at our southern border is a direct national security threat against the states and against the citizens therein. Secretary Mayorkas has willfully abandoned his duty to secure the border and protect states against invasion.
Maladministration, malfeasance, and neglect of duties on a truly cosmic scale. But these are not impeachable offenses. We know this because the American founders specifically rejected these terms at the Constitutional Convention. Now, what is the practical effect of impeaching Mayorkas other than assuring that Republicans will have no defense when a future Democrat majority turns this new definition against them? Even in the delusional fantasy where 2/3 of the Senate were to remove him, the same policies will remain in place as long as the Biden-Harris administration holds office. This crisis was set in motion by voters who elected them and can only be fixed by voters replacing them with a president determined to secure our border, as Donald Trump did.
Yes, McClintock is a Trump supporter, and yet he still hammered Greene.
If Ms. Greene is successful in redefining impeachment, then the next time Democrats have the majority, we can expect this new definition to be turned against the conservatives on the Supreme Court and any future Republican administration. And there will be nobody to stop them because Republicans will have now signed off on this new and unconstitutional abuse of power.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is engaged in abuse of power. Talk about being humiliated. And we've heard other Republicans slam Greene to her face as well. A few months ago, FBI Director Wray calmly made Greene out to be an idiot when Greene complained about a Facebook group.
Mr. Wray, are you interested in members of Congress that are organized and participating in a Facebook group that has ties to Hamas?
We're not investigating people for participating in a Facebook group.
A Facebook group that is tied to Hamas?
We have multiple investigations into individuals affiliated with Hamas, and they're active investigations.
You're going to tell me as FBI director you will not investigate Americans or United States members of Congress that are linked to known terrorists?
That's not what I said.
Are you going to investigate or not?
We are going to investigate individuals who are affiliated with Hamas if they meet our standards for predication, which are longstanding standards set by this department and the prior department and the department before that.
The fact is, Marjorie Taylor Greene gets called out at literally every hearing she speaks at. And it's not just Democrats. Republicans are also noting Greene's stupidity and hypocrisy. The irony is that Greene keeps piling it on, even as the Republican-led U.S. House gets nothing done. By the way, Marjorie Taylor Greene's hero Donald Trump keeps going berserk over the ridicule publicly aimed at him.
He is like a walrus snorting and like a rhino flopping his hand. He is not there.
He said, "This is absolutely ridiculous. I fully disagree with both verdicts and will be appealing this whole Biden-directed witch hunt focused on me and the Republican Party. Our legal system is out of control."
Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular is from Miguel Napo, 2535, who wrote, "If, as Trump claims, all these court cases are orchestrated by Joe Biden, then you have to admire Joe's skills." Good point. And to add to it, clearly Joe Biden is living rent-free in Donald Trump's head. I look forward to reading your comments about Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm David Schuster. Thanks for joining us.